two Venezuelan F-16 Fighting Falcons roared across the Caribbean sky, cutting low over the USS Jason Dunham. The pilots believed they were executing a show of force, a demonstration meant to intimidate the Americans. In reality, they were walking into a trap invisible to the naked eye. 3 seconds after their radar locked on, the target they pursued vanished behind a wall of engineered electronic noise. By the time they realized something was wrong, the air itself seemed to turn against them. This was electronic warfare in its purest form. Silent, unseen, and devastating. What the US Navy collected that day wasn't just intelligence. It was a blueprint, a digital fingerprint of Venezuela's aging F-16 fleet. For nearly 3 minutes, the Caribbean became a theater where sensors and data streams replaced guns and missiles. From the surface, it might have looked like a routine intercept, a pair of Cold War-era fighters challenging an American destroyer while the crew executed defensive maneuvers. But there was another layer, hidden beneath the apparent chaos. The Jason Dunham's advanced Aegis radar, combined with the SLQ-32 V3 electronic warfare suite, monitored every radar pulse, every radio transmission, and even subtle infrared traces from the jets. Each signal was dissected in real time, cataloged, and transmitted to analysts across the task force, creating a comprehensive intelligence snapshot that the Venezuelans never suspected. Inside the ship's operations center, sailors tracked the intruders with cold precision. Every radar blip, every electronic ping from the F-16s was parsed for patterns. Pulse intervals revealed the quirks of targeting computers. Heat signatures exposed engine outputs and flight envelope behaviors. The pilots believed they were controlling the engagement, but in reality, they were feeding the Americans a detailed data set. Every turn, every throttle adjustment, every attempt to lock onto the destroyer became a teaching moment for US analysts. By the time the F-16 veered away, no weapons had been fired, yet the Americans had obtained over $1 billion worth of technical intelligence, encompassing radar characteristics, infrared emissions, and communication habits. But what they didn't realize was that the apparent aggression was entirely predictable. The Jason Dunham and its supporting assets had prepared a defensive choreography designed to let the Venezuelan pilots think they were testing limits. The ship's Aegis array created deceptive radar reflections, while the electronic warfare suite subtly influenced the fighters' targeting computers. Every maneuver the intruders made was logged, each signature precisely recorded. Analysts could now differentiate between system quirks and pilot behaviors, giving the Navy the ability to identify these jets anywhere, anytime, even if call signs or operational protocols changed. The intelligence was both tactical and strategic, actionable for immediate defense, yet invaluable for long-term fleet assessments. The F-16's aggressive passes continued. The pilots attempted to demonstrate superiority, banking hard and flaring wings to assert dominance. They called for guidance from Caracas, but their communications were compromised by the destroyer's electronic measures, feeding interference back through their systems. Each attempted lock-on revealed more about the aircraft's onboard computers and radar behaviors. The Jason Dunham's crew monitored this data meticulously, transmitting encrypted packets to the command center for immediate analysis. For the Venezuelans, the intercept seemed tense and high stakes. For the US, it was a carefully controlled observation exercise, one that would yield intelligence far beyond the immediate engagement. Then came the subtle escalation, the electronic shroud that neutralized any meaningful threat. The AN/SLQ-32 V3 emitted layered signals, creating confusion in radar tracking and masking the destroyer's precise position. Every attempt by the Venezuelan jets to maintain a lock was countered by invisible interference. The pilots' radars flickered with false readings, and thermal imaging struggled to reconcile decoy heat sources. From the destroyer's perspective, this was the moment when a provocation became a data collection windfall. Each pulse, each failed targeting attempt, enriched the Navy's electronic library, capturing radar and thermal fingerprints of the F-16 systems. No missile had been fired, no guns had been raised, yet victory was already secured. At the midpoint of the encounter, the situation reached a cinematic tension point. The Venezuelan pilots attempted a final aggressive maneuver, diving low over the water to provoke a response. What they didn't realize was that every shift, every bank, and every throttle adjustment was already being analyzed for subtle anomalies. The Navy's systems were extracting frequency hopping patterns, radar quirks, and flight envelope details that would be cataloged into permanent intelligence records. It was a teaching moment that the adversary never signed up for. Even as they believed themselves in command, the data being collected would allow U.S. forces to recognize the specific jets in future encounters and anticipate their tactics before they were executed. Below the surface, another layer of intelligence opportunity emerged. While the F-16s buzzed overhead, U.S. ISR assets monitored the electromagnetic environment and detected minor shifts across the sea. Buoyed by the engagement, remote sensors picked up subtle interference in naval acoustic readings. The strategic depth of the operation became apparent. Every element of the environment, above and below, was being cataloged. Analysts could observe interactions between radar, communications, and environmental factors, building a comprehensive model that included ship, aircraft, and oceanic data. The seemingly routine flyover had become a full-spectrum intelligence collection event. Once the Venezuelan jets disengaged, the Americans consolidated their haul. Every radar reflection, heat signature, and radio ping was processed by the task force's analysts. Algorithms compared the captured data against prior intelligence, revealing vulnerabilities, quirks, and operational patterns in the Venezuelan F-16 fleet. The intelligence was precise enough to allow immediate identification of any aircraft anywhere in the Caribbean, even if modifications were applied or call signs were changed. What had begun as an act of intimidation had transformed into a treasure trove of actionable knowledge, creating a permanent advantage for U.S. naval operations in the region. Strategically, the incident reinforced a key principle of modern naval doctrine. Restraint can yield intelligence far more valuable than engagement. By allowing adversaries to reveal themselves, the Navy not only avoided escalation, but gained a comprehensive understanding of enemy capabilities. Commanders used this intelligence to enhance force readiness, update radar and missile engagement protocols, and deploy complementary assets such as F-35s to Puerto Rico for rapid response coverage. The message was clear. Aggression would be met not necessarily with firepower, but with overwhelming knowledge and preparedness. Venezuela's show of force had unwittingly broadcasted its own operational limitations. The USS Jason Dunham incident also illustrated the convergence of electronic warfare, ISR collection, and strategic patience. In a matter of minutes, a low-level provocation became a full-spectrum intelligence operation, demonstrating that technological dominance and tactical foresight often outweigh raw aggression. For the Venezuelan pilots, it had been a routine flyover meant to intimidate. For the Americans, it became a case study in multi-domain dominance. Air, sea, and electromagnetic spectrum merged into a single operational advantage. The data collected that day would inform training, threat analysis, and mission planning for months to come. By the end of the engagement, the Jason Dunham had achieved a rare form of victory. No shots fired, no lives at risk, yet an unparalleled accumulation of actionable intelligence. Each radar blip, every engine heat signature, and all emitted frequencies had been cataloged into a comprehensive profile of the Venezuelan F-16 fleet. The operation confirmed that in modern conflict, knowledge could be a weapon more potent than missiles or guns. Silence, observation, and restraint had created a battlefield where the adversary unknowingly revealed their own weaknesses. As the sun dipped toward the horizon over the Caribbean, the Jason Dunham continued its patrol, undisturbed by the earlier provocation. Satellites, drones, and surface monitoring systems relayed data back to centralized analysis hubs, where the information collected from the F-16 flyovers was processed in real time. Analysts confirmed the success of the operation, an intelligence haul sufficient to anticipate future movements, assess vulnerabilities, and reinforce U.S. naval superiority in the region. The Venezuelan pilots returned to base, unaware that their demonstration of force had instead become a masterclass in U.S. electronic and operational dominance. In retrospect, the USS Jason Dunham incident highlighted the evolving nature of naval engagement in contested waters. Traditional kinetic confrontations are no longer the only path to strategic advantage. Carefully orchestrated observation, coupled with electronic warfare capabilities and patient command decisions, allows a single ship to convert an act of provocation into a decisive intelligence operation. The Venezuelan F-16 flyovers had been an attempt at intimidation, but in doing so, they provided the United States with a digital map of their capabilities, vulnerabilities, and tactical tendencies. Every pulse, every radar sweep, and every infrared signature now serves as a tool for safeguarding the Caribbean and maintaining operational superiority. The final lesson of Operation Data Trap is clear. Dominance in the modern battle space relies as much on information and restraint as on firepower. The USS Jason Dunham demonstrated that with advanced sensors, precise electronic measures, and disciplined execution, an adversary can be neutralized without a single missile or gunshot. In the Caribbean skies, knowledge became the ultimate weapon, and every subsequent engagement in the region would be informed by the data captured that day. The true power of this encounter lay not in what was fired, but in what was learned. And in modern warfare, understanding the adversary can be the most decisive victory of all.